Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy. If you're new to the channel, I'm so pleased to have you here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm doing a chakra reading today, laying out the cards as I go. Starting off at the heart, I have the card Dandelion Healing with the number 9. This card gives me a real sense of warmth with a lot of solar energy. It feels like this is a confidence that there are wishes that you've held in your heart for a long time that are coming true. Another thing that's coming through with the dandelion is this idea that a dandelion is actually a weed. And a weed is something that grows wild and sometimes considered unwelcome. However, the dandelion represents something that grows as a weed, but that we actually blow our wishes into. With the number 9 coming up so frequently lately, as if many questions I ask the cards as I'm doing readings, even for myself, come out with the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. And what it's been representing for me is this almost culmination of, the materialization of a manifestation, okay? And a sense that what you are building is aligned with what you've been manifesting, the wishes that you've been wanting to come true. And so this card in the heart center is telling me that these wishes are coming true from unexpected places and in unexpected ways. And this also represents something of a difficult journey, that it hasn't all been easy, but there's a sense of resilience that's coming through. Just as I connect with an actual dandelion and what the stalk feels like, there's a resilience to it. And because we're discussing a weed, okay, I'm assuming now we're picking this dandelion out and we're going to blow. This is someone who has engaged in a lot of uprooting of things in their life that are no longer serving them. And it's through this active approach, intentional approach to transformation that some dreams are now coming into fruition. I've been led to the solar plexus just through the yellow of the heart chakra card. And the card I have is Diamond Radiance, card number 11. This is taking me back to what I said about integration. The 11 feels like this mirror of you and yourself, looking at yourself and really integrating these things that you've been wanting to change, and your resilience again, because the diamond is also taking me back to resilience. You are learning how to show up as you are, okay? And this is allowing you to radiate. You're feeling strong. You're feeling confident. Irrespective of how things appear, you seem to have a really strong understanding of your personal value, also a clarity around your personal value, and the value of not just your independence. This is what's coming up. Not just your independence, but your individuality. There's this understanding that you're leaning into, that there is nobody else like you. Okay? And so it's been more about fine-tuning your relationship with yourself. Okay? The things you say to yourself that used to discourage you, the things you used to say, weeding those things out. You've been showing up for yourself. You've been resilient through your journey. And the result is that you're currently regarding yourself as a diamond in the rough. Hard to find, but worth the search, worth the pursuit. This is also telling me that you are showing up irrespective of how others value you. I don't know if you can see this, but do you see the similarity between the dandelion and the diamond? There is, now this diamond is multifaceted. Okay, this is one of the traits of a diamond, I suppose. But if you look at this dandelion, even though it's not hard like a diamond, do you see how it's also multifaceted? It feels like your dreams, your wishes are materializing, okay, turning into matter, changing you in ways that matter, changing things in your life in ways that matter, ways you can see, feel, and touch. Okay, it's changing them. I want to say transforming them into, again, ways that matter, but I think you'd describe this as real life. There's something so healing about this combination of the dandelion and the diamond. The diamond radiates, okay? It's this crystal that radiates. As if to say, it can be spotted from afar through its radiance. And the dandelion, you know, when you blow on it, those things on it spread, and they go and spread and become new dandelions. They spread. And so there's this expansive, healing, shared experience that's coming through you, through what you represent to yourself, as the manifester of your environment, and the impact that you have on your environment. The color of the solar plexus card sent me to the crown chakra, and the card I have is moon cycles. It actually fell out upside down, so I'd say in reverse. And what it's telling me, as it's sitting in the crown chakra, this is your mindset, your center of belief, your connection to a higher power, your connection to the higher realm. What it's telling me is that you have a strong understanding. This is what has actually guided your resilience and guided your dedication to what you do and yourself. There's this understanding that when things are hidden from you, when you don't yet understand something, there is a reason. You are grounded in the knowing that where you are is exactly where you're meant to be, irrespective of the circumstances. It's really about how you feel. Your emotions are guiding you, how you feel, your senses. Okay? What you feel and what you know. And you've held a sense of safety in the sense that has kept you grounded, that has kept you faithful. You're also allowing yourself to move through these cycles. Okay, these moon cycles represent the cycles of nature, the cycles of your own nature. You're allowing yourself to be. And so I'm seeing someone who is really at a point of self-acceptance that they perhaps have never connected to before, and it's being reinforced by the results that you're realizing in your life. I'm not moving through these chakras in the normal order. I'm letting each card guide the next card, and I'm going to pull a card for the third eye chakra now because of this idea of the unseen and the unknown. I have the number 93966 on the clock. I've showed it on the screen. And what these numbers are telling me, it's nines returning on either side of a 3. So this is the sense that you're seeing things materialize. You're comparing almost like flashbacks to the past, seeing into the future, and looking at how things are actually materializing and finding your balance within that observation and realization, and how, these two sixes are speaking to me about this karmic result of your choices and the feedback that you're getting from your actions and your mindset and your intentions, and especially what you speak into your existence. In the third eye, I have Island Detachment, card number 19. Number 19 is taking me to the Sun in the Tarot, which also takes me back to this yellow, very sunny card of the dandelion healing. But what I'm realizing here through this third eye card is that you have really connected with your third eye, with your intuition, with the things that you've seen, not needing them validated by anyone else, trusting in what you see, believing in, okay, I'm getting a download. Of late, you have noticed that many, many things, and that only a really highly sensitive being would be able to, would have the awareness to recognize these events, okay? And so you've noticed this if you've noticed it. But there are things that come through in your intuition that actually happen. They materialize. I'm not talking about big things. I'm talking about even little things that you worry about. I want to say paranoia, thoughts of paranoia. You see these things in your vision, you worry about them happening, and then they happen. But at the same time, there are things that are not paranoia based. They are more like hope based, faith based, okay, wish based. These things are also coming into fruition because we cannot only look at one side of this. It is both sides, okay? And so you're really learning to trust your third eye, to trust your intuition, to trust your feeling, irrespective of what's happening around you. This recent part of your journey has asked for you to really trust your own vision, to not base your actions on what you see around you. And this is what has set you apart. This took me to the throat chakra because I spoke about what you speak into existence. This is a major transformation. I have fire intensity, card number 15. You would have noticed that your voice has changed, your expression has changed, the things you are creating have changed. The result of this is that these transformations are felt by your environment. This fire and the warmth that comes of the fire. For some, it will land as warmth. For others, it will land as like danger, feelings of peril. Okay, so this shift in your voice, this transformation in how you create is affecting the things around you. It's affecting the people around you, okay, because it's also very much a sign of change. There's something that's also so wild about this fire. There's something so wild about it. It's taking me back to the dandelion, how it also grows wild. There's something so free that's happening here. You've really found your freedom of expression, okay, freedom to be you, freedom to allow for time to do what it needs to do, freedom to be. There's also something else coming through with this fire. It's as if, it's as if I'm tapping into, if I could say, the consciousness of the fire itself. You wonder whether the fire is aware that it is intense, okay? And most probably it is not aware. It just has its role to be a fire and to transform, okay? And that's how I feel about how you're connecting with how your transformation is landing on others. It kind of just is what it is. It is what it is, and it's meant to do what it's meant to do. And so there's this belief in your purpose and allowing yourself to live in your purpose by being yourself, by allowing yourself to be wild, by allowing yourself to not be so structured in your expression. This reading is really leading itself because this fire intensity card in the orange is making me pull a card for the sacral chakra, which is orange. Before I go there, this fire card is saying more. This number 15 represents the devil card, and the devil representing doubt, confusion, all those kinds of things that distance us from love. Okay? And what it's telling me is that this fire is actually creating a clearing. It's creating a clearing, allowing the transformations that need to happen in the areas that they're happening, allowing yourself to speak freely so that a clearing can be created for the new. Let's see what's coming through in the sacral chakra. In your sacral chakra, I have crystal quartz focus. The first thing this card did, this purple, took me to the third eye. And what it's telling me is that there's this creation of what's transforming in your life through what you're seeing in the future, through all these different ways of expressing yourself, different ways of the shift in your relationship with intuition and creation, and how this is materializing things in your life. If you look at this spread so far, these are very earthy element cards, this diamond and crystal quartz, which usually present as ideas almost in the higher chakras. Okay? Whereas having them in the lower chakras is telling me that this materialization of these things is creating a great sense of stability and a clarity around how you are to create even more stability in your life. Okay, still all hidden in the beyond, in the unknown. However, the materialization is happening in the places that you've really been wanting it to happen in. This has all been through your faithfulness, your resilience, again, because these crystals, the diamond and the crystal quartz, are really speaking to me about something that's taken a long time to form. Okay, but because it's been given that much time to form, it carries a stability that feels lasting and that feels clear and beautiful. By clear, I'm referring to something that almost cannot be broken. It feels like that, like it's hard to break it due to its form, how it was formed, and even just the coloring of the cards. Again, the blue and the dark blue and the purple are very crown chakra, third eye. It's through your sense of belief and through your intuition and through trusting that these will lead you to where you want to be, that you have arrived where you are now. I also see that your groundedness is rooted in your sense of personal value and your uniqueness. This came up earlier. Another thing that I wanted to mention that came to me while I was shuffling for this card is the peace that I'm picking up from you. The way I'm reading is much more calm than how I usually feel when I read. I'm referring to, there's an intensity that I often read with, yet I'm not being guided by that intensity today. I'm at a neutral sort of space. That's how I feel. I feel the absence of performance. That's how I feel. And so this is again just taking me back to how settled you're feeling within yourself, that your groundedness is not rooted in currently in like a physical manifestation of stability. It's a stability that's rooted within your sense of your personal value and knowing that what you are building and what is materializing is lasting and that it's of you. And again, that you do not need to be anyone else because it is what makes you you and what makes you special, individual, unique. That's what brings you your value. I don't think this last root chakra card could have been a better card to close up this reading, because you have closed a major cycle in your life. That is very clear from this reading. And having the cave initiation card, this man has been in the cave in isolation, isolated from their sense of stability, their sense of freedom, all of these things that they've been waiting for. And so this is representing the beginning of a new season of your life, of stability, of freedom, of understanding who you are, what brings you value, your value to your environment, the world. You're coming out of this season. You're coming out so peaceful and so calm. You are confident. You know who you are. You know who you are now. You do not need to put who you are into words. You just show up. And those who have been looking for you, those who can recognize you, those who have been waiting for you, those who have been with you, they know who you are too. I'm going to close this reading here. I am really proud of you. You are a gift to your environment. You really are. And you have been your biggest gift to yourself. I'd like to say thank you so much to all my new channel members. There is something so special about offering something where I'm not actually sharing anything additional with you. For me, this speaks a lot to how people do share, how people do show up without necessarily any expectation, but pure gratitude. I also want to say thank you so much for everyone who has been on the channel, everyone who's still coming to the channel, and everyone who's here on the channel, okay? Even those who have left, that have really anchored the vibration here on the channel. Because even on days or months where I felt pulled back by certain energies, there has always been a spark, a light that I can ask Spirit to guide me to lead me to. And that is the vibration that you all anchor here on the channel. This is the space that allows me to be free. This is the space that allows me to just say what I need to say without worry that it is unwelcome information or information that, I don't know, is not necessarily what one wants to hear. To really surrender to Spirit, to surrender to my own third eye and my spirit requires a sense of safety to be able to speak freely without judgment, at least of myself. There are so many things one picks up in a container, but to get the most out of channeling, I really have to free fall and surrender. And it's so strange, I didn't know what impact these channel memberships were going to have on me. I didn't think that they'd affect my system, and I'm going to tell you that they have. They have affected my system energetically. I didn't know that this could happen. I saw this playing out more like a channeling of information that is led by members, for example, supporters of the channel. It has shifted me on an energetic level. Okay, it has shifted me fundamentally on an energetic level. If I tell you, this is just some sharing that's coming out. If I tell you that my astrological makeup, okay, if I look at the percentages of how the elements are spread across my chart, I'm pretty much made of water, fire, and air, okay? And I have like 1% earth, okay? And I've looked at other people's charts. I seldom see this, but I believe that it's also why I'm able to lift out of this particular dimension to channel this information. But it's also left me with this reality of feeling like my material life is unstable and like questions about how to ground it. But I'm learning that this is not a disadvantage at all. It puts me at an advantage because as a manifester, I'm able to shift more easily. Things are able to transform faster for me, to be able to even channel this information. And especially now, I feel like things are really shifting in the world globally, and especially through this collective that I channel with and for. I feel like we have really shifted or moved the needle of this idea around how financial material resources are actually shared in the world. Power, the dynamics of power. I believe that this, understanding, and it's not like, I'm not actually referring to, how do I put this? I'm not referring to, I'm referring to the transactional nature of how we deal with resources. And I'm referring to the idea that stability is formed in certain ways, rigid ways of thinking around earthly matters. I feel like we're shifting the needle on that. I feel like it's really the structures are shifting and we are responding to the shift and not insisting that the needle remain where it's been. Those words were very hard to get out, but they came out, and I hope you understood what I'm saying. I've left more information in the description box below on ways to support the channel. There are various ways. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for this journey. I'm grateful to be able to deliver these messages. Sending you all so much love.